Don't park your spirit. Find the path beyond harmony.
We are so powerful as beings. Nothing can tell you your path except for you. Once you start on this path, you can't turn around. Don't park your spirit there. You did it. You chose it. That's what you wanted. Because every choice you make affects your life. If you believe it, things are going to work for you because they parked their spirit. Wherever you go, there you are. Welcome back, Elena Mexia of Quito, Ecuador. And this is part 2 of our interview. Welcome back, Elena.
I see people as an instrument because I see people first because of the sound of their way of talking, you know, the sound. So I analyze the sound of a person, so I can through your way of talking, I can see where your blockades are. Imagine when people sing, you know, I can see everything.
Wow. I bet people are like afraid to talk in front of you sometimes, like she's going to see my darkness.
No, but you know, when I have my patients, you know, when I was in Reiki, our teacher was saying, you need to have an interview with your patient, you know, like 10, 15 minutes, no more than that. And I'm like, 15 minutes, I mean, you don't have enough time, you know, for them to really tell you the truth. They don't even know you.
Right.
No, 10, 15 minutes. Okay, 10, 15 minutes. So of course we had an exam and we had to do practices, and 10, 15 minutes, of course, fine. So I got my degree and I said 10, 15 minutes. No,
not
you talk, I listen. Right. And I'm going to ask you questions. So people come here and talk, and actually 80% of the whole session is people talking, and we're talking. So I know that when I talk and when I listen, I start channeling. Right now my sessions are channeling most of the time.
Right.
And I can see, you know, like a hologram of what they're saying, and I can see things, and then, you know, I tell them and I channel and I sing, and and then, you know, they go there and I do my Reiki and I do shamanic stuff too. So
and I do shamanic stuff too. It's like, I play piano and I got a piano. You're amazing. I mean, it's just
piano, but I play drums. I do my bowls.
You mean, I don't know how you're doing it all. Yeah. Wow. So what is your practice now? It's like, so people come to see you now, and is it like, do they come to see you once and they're done? I would imagine it wouldn't take much, but with your practice and the way you do this, the way you see so much, they probably just want to keep coming back to experience more, though. I can imagine.
I'm not a normal therapist in the sense that I've been working, you know, like a normal therapist, you know, like doing like 1 hour and stuff. But then, you know, I developed my own method, which is, you know, the map of your soul.
Right.
So it has different modules, you know, it has different timing, you know. So first, let's get rid of your past, or let's get rid of, you know, all the things that they are in your genes, you know, like Bruce Lipton says, I mean, you can change your life by changing all your information in your genes.
Right.
Well, I do that too. Epigenetics, we do that too in Reiki. Well, I don't do Reiki anymore.
Right.
I just move energy, you know. Right. I work with the memories, you know, get rid of some stuff in the memories and put new information, but I get the information from the origin, you know. So the best version of yourself in the best timeline of yourself, I get that information and put it in yourself, right?
Wow.
It takes a long time to do that, but yes, Jesus told me to do that, and I did it.
Wow.
Took 3 years, of course, but
I still can't believe the things you've done. And you're like, so where do you see yourself in 10 years? I mean, as much as you've evolved into, I mean, I can't even imagine.
I see myself in Hawaii. I want to go to Hawaii. So these are the maps. Of course, they're in Spanish. So what happens with that? When people come here, of course, they all come with the drums and all the instruments.
Okay. Wow.
So when people come here, they right now the way I work is I don't want you to come only for once and then disappear, because that doesn't serve you. I mean, just Reiki, like alignment and stuff like that, that's okay. It takes little, but actually for me is really boring, because I cannot work with anything. I like to resolve problems. I like to give you a solution. Okay. So when people come here, of course, they say my life is not working, is not working anymore, or I'm divorcing, or I have problems with my family, I have problems with myself, I have a disease, or I have cancer. People come here with lots of different problems, or people, that they lost somebody and they feel really sad, things like that, right? And I said, okay, do you have a dream? What's your dream? This and that. Okay. Some people say, I don't have a dream. And I'm like, okay, let's just start working so you can live your dream. When you have a dream, that's your destiny.
You have a goal, something to look toward.
Your destiny. Right. But to know about that, you need you need like a path, right, with different levels of consciousness. So this is the way I work. I tell you how many cycles you have in. It's like of course, remember that I'm mental, right? I need sketches. I like to draw. I like to.
Your walls show it. Your walls show it. And I've seen you doing that. You did that in our meetings. You're like, watch this, guys. You had something to say.
Yes, I like doing that. Remember that I come from fine arts.
Yes.
So I also my window is all written up.
Oh, wow.
You see that?
Yep.
Also the window. Yeah. Those are messages. So the window is all the time there, right? So my sacred dream is this and that. And I said, okay, to get that in your life, you have different levels of consciousness that you have to reach and that you have to develop, that, right? Mm-hmm. And I tell you how many processes you need to do that, more or less. Of course, things can change, but it's just like it's like a path. It's like a map, right? That you can follow. And I give you like a little pill, like the Matrix, a little pill of frequencies. And I say, okay, to focus on that, to get the best version of yourself, focus on that and learn this. This is the time for you to learn this, and that. So you probably have problems like this, and that, right? Oh yeah, this is happening to me, this and that. You didn't tell me anything about that. No, I didn't think that was important. I'm like, okay, this is the most important thing, because you have this problem, but this problem actually showing you that is not a problem. It's just the opposite of what you have to learn. And this is what you have to learn. This is your lessons. Okay. To learn the best way your lessons, and to have a best perception of life, you need to vibrate in a certain frequency. Okay, your frequency is called this, and that. And I give you a pack of feelings, because they are all feelings, not emotions. Remember the difference between feelings and emotions, right? That you have to focus on. So if you focus on that, you're always going to have the good answer to resolve the problems in this particular present moment. Right. And then it's going to change. And then, of course, I tell you lots of things, things that don't work. And then when you have a blockade, I say, okay, let's see where's the origin. So sometimes in this life, when you were 5 years old, like, when I had my first trauma when I couldn't go to play the piano, and then I finished, like directing opera. And then if it's not there, is coming from maybe your grandparents, or somewhere in your family, or maybe it's an attachment of an entity, or maybe is trauma in another life. And if it's in another life, I do a hypnosis session. I'm also a hypnotherapist, so
really?
I had time to learn about that. I had the best teacher ever, Aurelio.
See your
Mexia,
door, like
is a-
hypnotist, drummer, like all the things on your door.
Aurelio is so lovely. That guy, Aurelio. I mean, if anybody wants to do hypnosis, you should go to that guy. He's the best ever. Aurelio, yeah. I mean, for me, it was. It's like Johnny, Aurelio, and the same gods. You know, for me.
Wow.
Those are gods. And then, okay, we look into that. So the best thing for me as I discovered is you need like a map of your present situation, and from that present situation, you just start opening the different origins of what's happening to you. So when you know the origin, you know yourself. Because you can remember things, you can correct things, you can discover other kind of potentials. So when you start cleaning up and discovering, and I also tell you, these are the potentials that you need to develop in the different parts of yourself. You know, it could be, you know, abilities, it could be like psychic abilities, it could be, you know, so many things. So I tell you, you know, the new, not the new, but a part of yourself that you didn't discover that's there waiting for you to develop. And remember, we are multidimensional beings, so we are capable of doing so many things because we have so many lives and so many aspects of our soul, you know, like living in the different dimensions, that when you're aware of that, when you need here some information, you just bring it down, and you can use it and develop it in this version. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you are like a whole orchestra. You are a whole orchestra, and you can sound at the same time in one life, you know, but you are the director in this life. So you can get all that information and start using it. The best thing is not being perfect, because nothing is perfect. You need to realize your lights and your darkness, right. You know, your and get the information from your dark side and transform it into light. But light actually is your personality, is who you are, is your potential, is and through that you can see your dream, right? And to get to your dream, you really need to get light into your baggage, right. And the best thing is not to identify with anything, you know. So when people come here saying I'm a lawyer, I am this and that, and I say, okay, do you see a therapist in front of you, or you see MaElena or this woman talking to you, like really? And so I start, like, you know, I have lots of patients, you know, really also like important people and stuff like that. I never treat them more or less.
No, you're treating
because
the soul, you're not treating the employee, but they do for a living.
Yeah. I learned to you know, when they sit in front of me, I just put some glasses, you know, are God's eyes,
right?
But God's eyes in showing me the path they need to be complete,
right?
Okay, so I can see where they need to go. That's the way I see it. Okay, I don't see, you know, the holiness of the person, you know. Right. I think I need a lot of path still to do to see the holiness.
Oh, you're that 5 years, girl. You got that. 5 years.
I'm not into that yet. You know, I still see the human.
You see what I can see. You let them know what, you know, you take this path, make that choice, and then, but I
can see exactly where they need to go.
They frequently say, but it's scary, or I don't want to give this up, so they just stay stuck, and most people do that.
And I can explain that. I can explain them, you know, how to do the little steps by step, because if I can see the whole thing, I can tell them the little steps, you know, so I can explain really well. I can explain really well how's the step, because that was my problem in all these years. You know, I always wanted to know how to deal with my problems, and I didn't want to listen to blah blah, because you can tell me all the blah blahs you want, but I still have
Yeah,
problem.
problem's still there. Yeah, exactly. Wow,
You know,
that is quite a gift, though. Just, I mean, if just
yeah,
to
and I
know that
said,
it's not as
okay,
daunting.
I just want to know how to get rid of this and how my life is going to change if I correct this. But what do I have to do? How do I have to do it? And how to deal with that? You know, so the only thing as a therapist that I can do is like, okay, I get rid of this. Boom. This I can do because this energy, it's like you can take it and boom, and then let's replace it with somebody with something else. Sometimes, as I tell you, you know, it could be an entity. Okay, we say goodbye to the guy. Okay, go to the light. I take you to the but bye bye.
Yeah.
You know, some people, you know, get, you know, really really it's just a bit spooky sometimes, you know, these entities,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, because some things can happen, you know. Sometimes, you know, I have my crystal, you know, which is, I'm going to show you. You get entities in many ways, you know, but sometimes when they are really inside you, like a possession, here, okay, they come into here, you just bring them here. And then once I was doing this with a guy, and then it exploded in my hand. Okay, so sometimes it can get really really spooky, huh? When you treat with entities, you really have to be trained for that, because of course when you work with energy, you can, I mean, some energies, if you don't know how to work with that, you know they integrate into yourself, right? You get all that thing, right? So the more you work with yourself, the more pure you are, so you are not vibrating in some energies that could get, you know, can get attached to you. So you need to all the time clean. You tell people, you know, this is your problem, this is the origin, this is what you need to focus, this is your map, this is your mission, because I can download the mission of life and the spiritual mission too. And then you have the spiritual mission, your mission, as you know what your lessons are, and then you have your dream, your sacred dream,
Right.
you know. So your sacred dream is what you don't think is possible that can happen to you, but actually
It can. Oh, we know it can. We know it can.
actually is there.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just,
I mean, I'm living it. It's, I never would imagine this when I was a poor, abused little child in Henderson, Nevada, that I would ever have a life and ever. It's crazy.
it's beautiful, because everything, of course, everything is possible. So as I would say to my patient, everything is possible, but we have a path. Remember that. So if you're ready to get that, you're going to get it. But if you need to have a path because you need still to learn some things, or you have to become something, or you need to get some information, or you have to get rid of whatever, I mean, you have something to do in that path. It's not going to come as soon as you think it's going to come. You first have to live this process, and remember that the process is where you get to know yourself better. Sometimes we have very difficult situations, and I always try to tell my patients, also myself, of course, the most difficult situations is where you get to know yourself better, but also where you find this little part of yourself that you lost somewhere, you know, soul fragment.
Right.
So this morning, for example, I found out that I found out that I have 4 soul fragments that I have to go and pick up somewhere in the universe, to get myself in a better, you know,
Wow.
total way, you know, because I'm in this path where I need to feel my, not my, also my completeness or wholeness, but my total self.
Self. Yeah.
Right. So in this total self, I still have, you know, like holes. So I have to go and pick them up somewhere.
You'll
And
find
it's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful, because sometimes you find that when you at home, you have very difficult situations, or with your friends or something like that, right? Or, you know, sometimes you need a chaos, you need a break, or you need that something dies, So the new spring comes, right?
Right.
So I love death, because I see death as a new beginning, and
Yeah.
I also love death in the other side, of course. So
Right.
I'm a specialist in death, right? And in this last year, I became a death shaman. So I can accompany people, in this. So I decided also to do the experience. And I said, okay, I want to have that experience too.
Do you do the
Because of
shared
course,
death experience? Do you do a
yeah,
shared death experience? Oh, wow. I've heard about that, read about that.
yeah. So actually, of course, with the Monroe Institute, we had all these beautiful. I love the Monroe Institute because of everything what they experience and how they experiment things and how they explain and how they bring out all this information to people, to experience through the sound and through the waves and stuff. I think they're marvelous. So doing all these courses that we've done, of course, we learned a lot, and you have an experience, you have an OBE, you can have, you have all this, your life can change. Your
Just
life can change a lot.
you're on a journey,
Yeah.
taking a course through there. It definitely it primes the pump. It does something.
I think when people is not really aware that we have disabilities, Monroe is the key, because you just put these earphones and you just lay down and let's see what happens. And sooner or later, something's gonna happen. When you just forget about everybody. They train you to forget about the world and to put all your mind problems, in this box and to
Yeah.
sing and this and that. But actually, the beauty about the Monroe is that the spiritual, they can explain the spiritual world for scientific people
Yes. Yes.
or mind people or people that don't believe.
Yes.
And they can explain things into a scientific point of view, and also as a very sweet way of doing things, it's really sweet.
Yeah.
And because you just put these phones and they just guide you.
Yeah.
They guide you and they let you there, like flowing. But I think the people that go tomorrow are people that can give something back to the world. So I don't think I think they're chosen people in the sense that not everybody can go, or not everybody feels that it's interesting to go because they're not ready to give something back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because everybody that does this has such a change,
Calling.
internal change, a spiritual change, that they want more.
And we want to change, we want to help others. We want to be of
Yeah.
service, and you lose all that ego and you want to
more.
help others find this space.
And you want to discover more. But since you didn't know how to do it, because some people use, I don't know, books or, like people with Reiki or other people, they just see Gaia, right? But, once you do this discovery with Monroe, you just want to travel more inside yourself, within yourself. You want to know deeper about what can you feel, what can you see, what can you discover that you don't really see in the normal world. And the people that go there, they're like really freakies,
Oh, I know we all are.
Oh yeah,
Prepared for freaks, and I'm a proud freak. I'm a freak when I walk down this street.
Oh yeah, they're so freaks.
They're like going, "Whoa, crazy lady." I'd never be
Yeah, and there's so many people that have these stories that you just go like, really? That really happened to you? I want that. But it's like you want to share and you want to discover. I think the more is to discover things that it's an easy way to discover. But of course you need, you need to give yourself to that.
Yes.
So you need to be like a little kid,
Yes. That's everything.
Tomorrow, you need to play with life. So you need to, the ego must die.
Yes.
So remember that, you know, I mean, once you go to Monroe, it's like you die.
Mhm.
It's before Monroe, and after Monroe is another you.
I just got my Christmas card. I got to be there. I was there. I was there. You do need to. You will absolutely love it. And we were at the Nancy Penn Center, but you can also, you know, RMR has their stuff too. Just being there, and I got to be there the week they reopened after COVID. So it was like a year and a half of like the energies in the building were stirring like crazy. Like, where have you people been? So it was magical. It was so much magic. I mean, I had so many openings during that trip, and yeah, great. I had one meditation that told me to go do cartwheels, and I'm like, and I did. I went out and I did cartwheels, and a guy came out after his meditation. He was telling me about it. And he said, I was just guided to go do cartwheels. I'm like, we both, it was like at the same exact time, we're like, that is eerie, but what is it? We don't have a clue.
Yeah, I think I have to go sometime, you know.
Yeah, I think you would love it. You've already taken programs. How many programs have you taken?
Yeah, well, I took 6 already. CarI's was the last one. Was okay, but actually I stopped there. I'll be waiting for something, you know, to really catch my attention.
Yeah,
because I've been doing for the last 6 months. I've been doing this master on shamanic energetic medicine. So that was really took my energy, you know, all the time focusing on that. But it was beautiful. Actually, it was beautiful. Yeah.
Wow.
So this was more or less, you know, the trip on discovering energy, to be a healer. You know, going ups and downs, but actually discovering, you know, to translate some other way of healing people through this method. It's a 6-dimensional way of thinking that actually it's me in another dimension bringing it down. So that I discovered, and actually I started to do hypnosis because of this. I was channeling information because that channeling was very, for me also channeling was very, very funny because I started, you know, to channel, you know, like dead people and and then, you know, masters, you know, light masters, you know, Saint Germain and all these guys. And then, you know, Michael, Archangel Michael, and you know, I started, you know, to channel all these guys. Actually, sometimes I even doubt it was them. And then, you know, I started to channel Arcturians and these guys, and I started to channel them because I had the affinity, you know, to channel these guys, you know. And then one point is because I have a life in there, you know, and I discovered that in Gateway. I discovered that I was an Arcturian, and I was bringing down all the light codes, you know, that I also do light codes. Look at my window there with light codes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I also do the light codes, you know, they're really powerful. So I started, you know, to channel these guys. And then at one point, you know, of course, Jesus was my master all these years, teaching me how to heal, actually. Right. And then at one point I would tell him, can you tell God this and that? And can you tell God, because I didn't have a good relationship with God, you know? So I said, can you tell the master, please, this and that? And he's like, why don't you tell yourself? And I'm like, because you are the way, right? You I mean, we have to do everything through you, right? And he's like, no, you can talk to him.
You have a direct line yourself, lady. Yeah.
He's kind of far away, don't you think? And he's like, no, he's not far away. He's within you. And I'm like, no, I mean, I don't even feel him. I mean, God. I mean, I don't know. I don't think God is. I mean, I can talk to God, you know. And this is a belief that we think that God is far away. Actually, because we live in this belief, you know, in the whole world that God is outside, is
out there somewhere.
You know, I mean, and before we had all these gods, you know, like remember, you know, the Romans and the Greeks, there's a god for everything. So and the gods were, you know, like having kids with the humans, so we were all mixed up. And then at one point, God is far away. And then at one point, no, it's within you. I don't know.
Like,
So I told Jesus, I mean, look, you tell, okay. Oh, okay, I'll tell him. I want to know what's the best way for healing in a very direct, simple, and very, I want the result here and now. Because this is what I always was looking for.
right.
Okay. And Jesus is like, okay. And then at one point, patient came, I put my hands on top of his head and I don't feel anything. I couldn't see anything, didn't feel anything.
Oh no.
Blank.
Oh no.
Like,
uh-oh.
and now what? I'm like, Jesus, are you there? I'm like, is anybody around? Because I mean, of course, we know that when we are healing, is not, I mean, we're never alone.
Right.
I mean, the whole universe is healing through you. You're never alone. Everything is through you, but you're not doing anything. This is the whole thing doing through you. So I'm like, anybody here? And then a voice is like, I'm here. I'm like, yeah, but who are you? And he's like, I'm the master. I'm like, sure. I'm like, so why are you guys leaving me here alone? I mean, what am I going to do with this guy? He's like, you were asking to know how to do the best thing, the best way, blah, 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 right? So I'm going to teach you. I'm like, but who are you? And he's like, God. I'm like, sure. I'm like,
I'm not buying this one.
No, of course not. I'm like, okay, this is probably me and another. I'm like, no, but come on. I mean, I want to know what's all this about. And God is like,
do this, what I'm telling you.
I mean, you want to know, I have to change your logic because you guys are doing healing with a human logic, but there's no way you can heal with the human logic. And I'm like, so whose logic? It's like God's logic. I mean, the divine intelligence. I'm the divine intelligence. And I'm like, the divine, are you God? And he's like, I'm telling you. Yes,
so correct. I'll be darned.
And I'm like, but I don't talk to God. I'm like, God doesn't talk to me. And he's like, and why not? And I'm like, because God doesn't talk to me.
He did three books of Neil Donald Walsh.
I'm like, so he started by changing my perception and also the way that energy was healing humans, right? Because of how we think, how we believe, how we live, and also it also what you really want for your own life, right. And also all the information that you have within you, your cosmic information, your Akashic record. Okay, right. So this was 7 years ago, and this is the result of the 7 years ago.
Whoa.
And at one point, I was stuck, and I said, okay, where do I get the information? He's like, you are the translator. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm the yes, this is all translated, in my own way of thinking, MaElena's way of thinking, of course. Right. But behind that, there's full of books. You see those full of books? Yeah. Those are written
journals, all handwritten. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
this is all.
Oh my goodness.
Channelings.
Wow.
Channelings.
Oh my
oh, this is nothing. Wait.
Good
this
thing
is more beautiful.
Organized.
Oh yes, of course. This is more beautiful. This is where everything started. All the notes. Okay, this is like going to university. You see. This is explaining me everything. Channel. Beautiful.
Elena, that's crazy. Wow.
That's beautiful. So at one point, I was a bit blocked. Like always, I always get these points, where I'm very blocked. And I said, okay, my dad died in that period. So I was in Madrid, and I said, I think I'm in a hypnosis session. I was never into hypnosis. I've never done hypnosis. So I looked for a hypnosis, hypnotherapist.
Right.
And, it was a 3-hour hypnosis session. And the first thing, you know, she's like, look at yourself. And I'm like, oh, I can see myself, but I'm aware, you know, I wasn't like sleeping or anything, you know, I was like aware. I look at myself and I see these 3 fingers, you know, like this. And she's like, how do you look? And I'm like, well, I don't look really human. I have 3 fingers and I'm really tall. And wow, look at my face. I look like a fish.
Oh my goodness.
Where are you? I see around me this beautiful place and I start crying. And she's like, why are you crying? And I'm like, because I'm home. I felt completely where home was. I wasn't here, of course.
Right.
So there I discovered that I needed to bring down all the medicine to it's like this is what we need to heal right now, because the human being right now, the way of healing is being conscious about the power that you have within, right? Your divine light, your divine origin.
Right.
But you have to you have to realize that you do that you are that, that all of a sudden, you know, lights, so you can have that consciousness, you know. So this is more or less the map that is bringing you to that consciousness level, no? So depending on the consciousness level you are, I talk to you. So the first thing that I do is like, which consciousness level are you in? So it depends on the one. I talk to you in a way, or I talk to you in another way, you know,
that's everything. Yeah.
With the difference of the language and also the information, right? So I, at one point, and she's like, okay, what do you have to bring down? And I'm like, maps. And she's like, what are those maps? And I'm like, I don't know. I have to just, I just have to go like this, you know, and everything's gonna come down. So actually that's what happened. I discovered that I was like ET. And actually for me, that was a relief.
I bet.
It was a relief because I understood so many things about myself. I understood, well, I already knew that I was here, you know, in a mission and going back to somewhere else. But for me, that was because I saw myself. I could see who I was actually.
Right.
And I could see that I needed to translate things. So for me, that was a relief. And from there, you know, everything popped out, like, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, everything popped out. And of course, I could heal so many things about, you know, blockades that I had of amnesia. Because we have an amnesia, you know, of course.
Oh, yes, we do.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I could just talk about it in a different way. Of course, when you are healed and when you have that awareness, but the awareness that you think, I mean, when you realize that that's normal, you can talk about it like really freely.
Yes. Yep.
Is when you doubt a little bit, that you're not really sure that you really talk about it. And then at the Monroe Institute, you just talk with ETs all the time, you know, because even your teachers are ETs. So you're like, okay, this is family. Okay. Yeah. Welcome back. Okay. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
We can talk about how the spiritual tales work on the subconscious for people to heal. I think this is another tool for healing that I discovered. You know that I do tales. Yeah, they heal. Also because they have a special energy that when I record, you know, for example, now I'm doing these ones, you know, the spiritual tales of Tibet.
Right.
And they're like little pills of wisdom, you know. So I never read them before. So what I do is just open up, you know, the sacred space, and, you know, like I say I want to get the information, the wisdom of this tale, so people can understand it, and this energy can heal them. Okay, so I put that into the music. Okay, and I know that my voice has that particular healing energy.
Right.
Okay, I know that my voice has something, and of course I work on my voice so that the frequency that I'm channeling has energy healing. So when I read it for the first time, because otherwise my mind is gonna go. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I started reading, and I just let my voice to go. I just let my voice to have that energy healing. And these tales have lots of wisdom. They're really cool. So I'm actually, this is the third book that I'm doing. And I can really tell that lots of people are listening to them, and some people are addicted to them.
Oh, I love it. How do they get a hold of your tales? How do they see?
Oh, I have a Spotify channel. I have a channel on Spotify.
Okay, so we're going to have that in the description down below. You click on that.
Yeah, they're only in Spanish, because I don't do them in English, because it takes me a lot of time, you know. And I do it at night before I go to sleep. I like record like 4, 6, and then I go to sleep. You know, I mean, for me, it's a meditation time. I also get healed with this. But actually, there are little pills that when you listen to them, I mean, when you record stuff like you're recording now, we're talking about things, you know, that are happening. They have a special light. And when you just have the intention, because you do have the intention that people get enlightened, or that people, you know, get healed, or that people get aware that there are, you know, like other doors, you know, to heal, or to, you know, be aware that your life can get better. Just your intention has something in the registration, right? And there's always going to be somebody that's going to listen, and that's going to work.
Yeah.
So it's a way of healing with technology. So when people say that, you know, healing, how does healing work? Well, healing does work with distance, because there's no distance, right? Time and distance when you're used that. But if we're using technology like this, or tales like I do, or you with your conversations, only your intention. I mean, we're like machines in the different times and spaces in the dimensions.
Right.
So even if you think that you are CarI in the 3D on Earth, that you don't know how to heal, but of course you have another life in the 6D. For example, in the 6D, we're architects, right? So just only your thought right now that I hope that this recording, this talking with MaElena, has this intention on people, the intention of, you know, being aware that they can have a better life, a better version, that their lives can change, that they can live a dream. For sure, you're gonna get that in everybody, because the intention right now for humankind, it's multiplied by 1,000 in the intention of everything, because the light right now that we need as a race to be together is only through intention. So the intention, for example, with the tales, is I cannot reach to everybody. Not everybody has money, not everybody is in Quito, not everybody knows me, not everybody is around, and not everybody is ready to have a session, you know, a healing session. But probably they have 2-3 minutes to listen to a tale.
Yep.
And when they listen to the tale that is gonna go like click to them, and they're gonna go like.
Do you think that they have to know the language to get the benefit of the tale? No. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think so, because you have you're using the vibration and the energy.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't need to know what you're saying if you know, but you don't want
it's the sound. It's like music.
Yeah.
It's like music. I have a friend, she's also a healer. She doesn't speak Spanish at all, that she uses my meditations in Spanish. I have meditations in YouTube too. And she uses the tales she just listens, you know, to get a vibration.
Right.
And some people use it to sleep. You know, people that have problems to sleep, they listen to it to sleep.
I'm sending it to my daughter.
For me, it's okay.
Whatever it takes, right?
No, because I have a patient that he's like, I listen to you every night, and I'm like, oh, how nice. And he's like, no, I just listen to you so I can fall asleep. And I'm like, okay. But remember, your subconscious listens to everything.
Yes,
you know?
and that's what I was thinking. You don't have to know the language whatsoever.
No.
So we're going to put the link to that. We're going to put the link to any link that you have. We're going to put in the description for both of these, because anybody who wants a session with you, get in touch with you. I can imagine a lot of people are going to say, I'm going to keto.
Oh, thank you.
What the service you offer, like, it's like you offer the whole package of healing, not just doing Reiki. You do everything. You get to the bottom,
everything,
core of everything that's going on, and you heal.
Yeah, because it's a process, so it's not only one session. It's just, like a traveling, through your own consciousness. So it can take you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It depends on how deep you want to go.
Yeah.
But of course, a minimum of 4 sessions. Otherwise, you don't see a change. I mean, you don't have the time to process anything, You can do many things, in those 4 sessions. You can do hypnosis, we can do singing, we can I can do so many things, because we heal in like different levels, of course. Right. When I heal with somebody, I started to heal, of course, only with the physical, then with the physical and mental, emotional. So the two dimensions. Now I heal in 9 dimensions. So it's really tiring, sometimes, but there's lots of information like going on, so you can get a different vision for the person. So it's like I always tell you, I don't see CarI, I see this. I see a dodecahedron.
I love
so
that.
This is the way I heal. I heal the dodecahedron. So it's really interesting. So healing is an excursion to the consciousness, because when I see you, I see me, so it's really beautiful. Yes, healing is an art.
Yes, it is. I'm so glad you went through the crazy path that you did to get to where you are. I still can't believe everything you've done in your life so far. It's pretty impressive, But you were pulled to a place you needed to go, and you found it.
I still have 40 years to go,
I know, I got 40. I know, I completely plan on it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an honor having you on this show. I really
thank you very much.
We'll have her back. I'm sure I'm going to have you back.